massive changes are on the horizon right now. Before I even started this video, I asked that this would find who it's meant to find, and I just swear I got an influx of downloads and information. I'm hearing Her Light by Cleo Soul, if you guys are familiar with that song. I heard there is no competition. When you choose intuition, you win. And I also heard without the night, the sky couldn't show you her light. But also the sun, right? The sun is the source of light in the sky. I think some of you are showing up as the energy of the sun right now. I also heard thirsty, but in a way that it's like you are amassing so many changes right now, and this is how you're going to know if this message is for you. You feel like you've outgrown things or places or people, things that you used to enjoy, things that used to feel okay, that used to feel satisfactory. You want more now. So that's what I'm getting the thirsty part from, is that you just want more. And you know you're meant for more. And that's why you feel comfortable sitting in that realization. Let your garden grow. I'm getting that there are a lot of you guys that have like buried your gifts in the soil, but not necessarily to plant seeds. I think it's like you tucked away these jewels of talent, of wisdom, of insight, of honestly divine knowledge. A lot of you are spiritually gifted. Like pretty much everybody that is in this collective is spiritually gifted. But, you know, I think part of your journey was that you had to come to a painful realization that the places that you were in your life, you felt that there was no room for development here. It didn't feel safe to develop this, is what I'm hearing. You guys are meant to change the world, and I do not say that lightly. And when I say change the world, you know, I'm not necessarily saying that like everybody is going to be changed, right? Like everybody's going to experience change, but those that are meant to change are going to change. And you are part of this mission. You are one of the awakeners. Whoever I'm talking to, you are an awakener. I got this download before I started this video. So many of you in this collective have battled self-worth wounds for so long. You really weren't able to see yourself because you were having to look after other people's approval, other people's validation. That was how you found your worth, was earning love, earning approval from other people. And that really just throws us off of our authentic mission so much when we do that. Because then those projections of other people become our reality. The energy transfers, right? That's what I'm hearing. Energy transfers from other people in our field. If they're not aligned to our truest purpose, they will, unfortunately, a lot of times be a negative influence to our path and to our journey. But it takes a level of awakening and a level of resonance to even understand that that was what was happening for so long. But a lot of you have, I'm getting, especially last year, there was so much shedding that has taken place. I am feeling a bit emotional. A lot of you, for last year, there were days where all you could do was just survive. I'm seeing an image of you like in the ocean, and there are just like wave after wave, and it's turbulent, just crashing against you, and you would have had every reason to let go, but you chose to hold on. And if you've made it this far in life and you've chosen not to give up, there is a reason for that. Do not lose sight of that. You have been divinely protected your entire life I'm getting for a lot of you, there were situations that you've been in before that were life-threatening, very dangerous, times where you made maybe not so great decisions for your well-being, and you're still here. And there's a reason the outcome was different. There's a reason you made it. I need you to understand that. The same good that you see in others is literally a reflection of the good that you possess, okay? You create good because you are good. You are literally the universe mirroring itself back to you, okay? I feel very passionate about this video and this message. A lot of you, I'm getting a connection to nature, like very green. You enjoy taking your time being in green spaces. I don't know if this is just like an extension, because I also feel this energy a lot too. There's something so alive and protective and maternal about nature. Of course, obviously nature is a force to be reckoned with, right? But aren't we all? Aren't we all? Don't we have layers of us that can create, can cultivate, can allow ecosystems to thrive, right? Create communities of empowerment, I'm getting, for the people that I'm talking to, you all leave a mark wherever you go. There is nowhere where your blueprint has not been left. You touch every person, every place, every situation that you encounter. That is how powerful you are. The trajectory of your life has had to amount to this moment. The lessons that you've learned are now being instilled into your greater purpose. You guys are awakening to your power. No more holding back. This is supposed to be such a tremendous year for you. And I know last year was kind of like riding out the storm. And so you are still in this phase where you're collecting the pieces of you that remain afterwards. A lot of the old you got washed away from what you had to endure. So you are not the same person that you are now. And that's a good thing. But the energy I'm feeling, there is a grief for that version of you. You're learning to let go of that version of you. I'm hearing like a gentle send-off. You're choosing to honor the versions of you that had to exist to get you to where you are now. And that's something that has been coming in lately with this collective. There's some kind of energetic release. There's some kind of energetic surrender that you are allowing to occur within you. The rain washes away to make anew. There's a purpose to rainy days, right? And just because it's a rainy day doesn't mean the sun isn't still there in the background, beyond the clouds, beyond the precipitation. These processes are necessary, though. It's a very disruptive energy, right? Like tower energy. Like you had to undergo like circumstances that literally leveled the entire foundation of your past experience, your existence, to get to where you are now. So don't look at loss as a bad thing. And don't look at the experiences that you had as unnecessary. They needed to be there. They needed to happen. And they were valuable in their own right. But you don't have to carry them with you moving forward. One of my favorite quotes is, how does it go? I am a mosaic of everyone I have ever loved. And that includes yourself. That includes all versions of you. You would literally not be able to be sitting and standing here as the person that you are unless you had met and you had accepted and allowed every version of you that maybe at one point kept you surviving, whether that's emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever it was, kept you surviving so that it could carry you to this next place. Isn't that beautiful? That makes me emotional. Is that not beautiful? There was a sacrificial part of yourself, not just for other people, but there was a version of you that knew that its purpose was to get you, gently protect this version that you are now. Protect it from the elements and keep your inner essence, your truest essence alive so that you could step into this next version of yourself. That is so beautiful. And how beautiful it is to be able to realize that. 11:11 as I look at the recording time. I want you guys to understand how unique your soul actually is. Because the things that you are willing to look at are things that even a strong person on their strongest day, it would be too much for them, right? And there's so many circumstances where, we can just make space for excuses. And again, I say this, with respect, right? And I completely understand if right now the circumstances in life do not allow you this space. Because life is life. And this human life is really fucking challenging. It's meant to be very human, and I think about the blessing of the spectrum of human emotions, right? We could only experience the highs of love and acceptance and evolution and gratitude, change, right? Positive change, growth, development, if we have fully been able to sit and understand and experience the bottom half of the spectrum of experiences, right? What we deem and label to be those negative experiences. I don't believe in positive or negative. I believe everything is information. Everything is a opportunity waiting to be unlocked. So if you've gone through grief, you've gone through loss, you've gone through doubt, you've gone through self-criticism, self-loathing, despair, overwhelm, depression, anxiety. All of that was information that this isn't meant to be your final, I heard final resting place, but it wasn't meant to be your final outcome. You will know what joy and love authentically feel like. Make time for yourself in this space. You can't go from one extreme of experience to another. There's a bridge that you have to walk and you have to cross to get there. Don't feel so caught up or defeated in what the process of becoming looks like. And I've definitely spoken about this before. But don't be so caught up in the process of becoming that you lose the version of yourself that you're carrying that is blooming and developing and emerging into this version of you that you are going to be. Honestly, this version of you that you are right now is going to be intimidated by the version of you that is emerging. And I mean that in the best way. I want you guys to, even as like a thought exercise, to think back on the version of you that existed 2 years ago. I want you to think about their thought patterns. I want you to think about their patterns of behavior that showed up for themselves, their daily habits, maybe the relationships, maybe your mindset to money back then, to success, to love. Has anything in any of those realms changed? And how? And it doesn't mean that everything's had to improve, right? Truly, you go through a process of doubt, of questioning. Again, what I talked about in our last video, there's pessimism sometimes that creeps in. Because again, there's a polarization in that process that has to take place. You have to fully understand the meaning and value of a pessimistic perspective and experience to fully appreciate and embrace the perspective of an expansive, limitless, abundant experience. And again, you're on this process of crossing the bridge. And sometimes you take steps back. Sometimes you stumble over, like maybe there are rotted pieces of wood on the bridge, right? That's kind of what I was seeing, but it doesn't mean it's going to be a smooth process. And part of the reason of that, I don't just chalk it up to like, you have to show your devotion to yourself. Like, yes, that's part of it. But all of this is creating capacity for you to truly receive the abundance that is meant for you, because only a person that fully believes they deserve and can contain this abundance is going to receive this abundance. And so that's what it's all about. It's not because you deserve for bad things to happen to you at all. It's actually quite the opposite. You deserve all of the goodness that life has to offer. I was going to use tarot, but I don't feel that we need to go into a tarot read today, to be honest with you. The same good in others is the same good that exists in you. I said that earlier, but I really feel like I need to say it again. You all have spent so much time being a giver. Only an abundant person can be a giver. Only an abundant person can create joy, can create happiness, can create love. And there's a big part of you that was afraid of how much abundance you have to offer. You give it away so easily, right? You see it in other people as, them being worthy and deserving. I'm sure it felt good also to pour into other people because your energy just naturally multiplies. You naturally have an ability to multiply and touch people's lives in such a way. It's just so beautiful. I'm speaking to empaths, healers, starseed energy again, right? Probably feeling like you have not belonged, on earth, on this experience that you've had. There's been multiple times where you're like, does anybody really get me? Does anybody really understand the magnitude of my essence? Yes, the answer is yes. You have someone sitting here talking to you through a camera, and I promise you, I understand. I know we're all on individual journeys, but I do understand what that feels like. I'm going to say it again. There are some of you, most of you, I think, that if not all of you that I'm talking to, your stories need to be heard. People need to experience you, your energy, how you transfer energy. That could be on the screen, that could be through a book, that could be through a song, whatever creative medium you gravitate towards. You might even be a teacher. You might, it could literally be any medium, a video game. This is the gift that we have been given. Like, you are a all-powerful creative being, and you're a very loving being, and people deserve to hear you. People need to hear you. Abracadabra, right? I create as I speak. People need to hear you. I know a lot of you struggle with that self-doubt of, there's all like the worries, right? The human worries of like, well, what if I don't really resonate with people? What if I look stupid? What if I get negative feedback? Okay. Not everybody is going to resonate with what you have to share. It doesn't mean it's not valuable. It just means that those people were not in a place where they could receive what you have to say. And that's okay. The people that do need to receive what you have to say are the ones that need it, right? That need to benefit from it. And so that's the entire intention, right? You're fulfilling that. Inspire people by living in your truth. You will inspire those people to live in their truth. They will inspire people to live in their truth. And those people will inspire others to live in their truth, right? Enjoy life. This is a process. This is a journey. And everything you go through, all the nuances, all of all the levels, right, of acceptance, of doubt, of insecurity, they need to be talked about because others go through that too. But we all experience it in various degrees of uniqueness. But there is that commonality that is shared and experienced among us all, right? The beauty of what it truly means to be a human, but also to be this etheric essence of love and light. Don't give up on yourself. You are there. You know, what you feel within is already established in the 5D, so let the 3D catch up. So believe in yourself. Believe that it's yours. And if you can believe that and feel into that, give yourself time and space to start to allow that to resonate at an energetic level. It will be, I promise. If you can get to that point where you can accept that and believe that and internalize that, that means that that version of you is already out there and it already exists. Because time is not really time, right? Time, it really is just a concept so that we as humans can make our way through life in this experience. But you can cross the dimensions of time and space. Confirmation. And so if you can believe that within yourself, then you are creating a version of you that already exists. That actually is true, right? There is a version of you then that exists that has everything that you believe and you feel and you see for yourself. I promise. Work in progress over here right now, right? But yeah, I think that's the gist of what I wanted to share with you guys. Just I think as I continue my channel and grow, I do want to talk to you guys more about nervous system regulation. That's something that I've been getting a lot of, I think, pushes to talk more about with our nervous system. It is a, biomagnetic field. So our heart coherence, everything, electricity, it generates throughout our body. And so being able to be responsible in how we're generating that energy, I know that we come into the world and the conditioning of the 3D, it just wreaks havoc on our nervous system. And something that is so important for us to be able to bridge that gap between the physical and the metaphysical is we need our vessels to be grounded. And so I am going to start to share more tips and tricks on nervous system regulation for you guys. And just to go over a few things that I'm currently offering, if there are some of you that do feel really dysregulated, you are struggling with like feeling either, overactive in the sense of like having anxiety, just feeling like you cannot settle. Maybe you're in places where you feel frozen, like functional freeze can be a thing where you get your tasks done throughout the day and like that is that you have all of that taken care of, but then when you get home or you finish what you have to do, you just don't have any more capacity for the other things. That's very real. That comes from a dysfunctional state that your nervous system is operating in. And I am trained or getting trained to be, SCP certified, which means somatic experiencing practitioner. So I do offer one-on-ones to work with bridging the mind and body connection to help restore some of the nervous system, cycles that get stuck in those the threat activation responses. So again, I'll link my email, my website down below in the description if you all do want to work on correcting some of the faulty nervous system mechanisms. I would love to work with you on that. I also offer personal readings, so that will be in the description below. You can click on my website and see what I have to offer there. And right now that's what I'm offering. There are other things that are going to be in the works, but if you do want to work with me, if any of this resonated, I would love to do a reading for you, or I would love to work with you on healing your nervous system. I'm going to leave the message here. If you made it this far, put some purple hearts or a unicorn down in the comments, just so I know you guys made it through the message. Thank you so much for being here. I feel so immensely blessed to be able to connect with you guys. I feel your loving energy through the screen, and it's amazing. You all are incredible people. So, okay. I love you so much. Do great things. I'll see you soon.